it's not dead yet.
It's not dead yet, baby. Woo!
There's still hope for that Ether squad to get it out there. So there was a report that came out saying that ETH has like a 15% chance to get approved in May.
In May? Oh.
Yeah, because this is one of their last approval before they have to final deadline deny one. So the reason I say there's hope, because there has started to have some back and forth with some of these shareholders. So one of the main ones that I saw was welcome back
to another week
of your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes Crypto.
The unscripted crypto podcast. Hey.
Yo. It's been a fun weekend. Or a fun Monday.
It's a Tuesday though.
I know it's a Tuesday, but the Tuesday just started, William. We're recording in the mornings now.
I really do hate it, but yeah. We are doing that.
I don't know what to tell what the markets are, man. Like, some things are up, some things are down. We had some great news come out. We have some bad news come out. So, like...
What's up?
What's up? Well, not in the crypto market. In the crypto market, we have AI tokens seem to be up. Besides that, not much. In the stock market, we got two meme stocks pumping like crazy. Oh, also, I'm pretty sure a couple meme tokens are pumping.
Not mine.
Not. It's never yours, is
it? It's a regular day in crypto for us. It's never your bag. It's always everyone else's bag.
And then we got some things going on, just happening around town. So that's like I said, I don't know what to tell. Like, are we up? Are we down? What's the situation going on? What's a little rundown that you give us, William?
How long do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, the truth.
We're down and sideways, bro.
Down
and sideways. We're down and sideways. What do you want me to tell you?
And so
I don't. Meme tokens are holding up. Not meme tokens. AI tokens are holding up. But every time Bitcoin dumps because of Coinbase, it's always like ruining the mood.
That is true. So why do you say that it's Coinbase? What happened with Coinbase?
You brought the article. Why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, I know, but you brought it up. I brought the article, but yeah, you brought it up, so I was gonna give you some. But yeah, essentially,
you asked me why. That's the reason why.
Yeah, essentially, Coinbase was down last night at 3 a.m. So mind you, that's Tuesday morning. It was like a 502 error where the website was just down for a little bit, and people weren't able to trade, but they always, whenever they go down, they're always sending out that notification. Don't worry, your funds are safe. As long as your funds are safe, people are okay. But if it goes down, halting stops, and seeing how big Coinbase is, yeah, it's not good for the market.
Apparently, from what I saw, another one that said that users are still, at the time I saw it was like a couple of hours ago, users were still unable to withdraw funds from Coinbase.
Oh, still?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got onto Coinbase this morning, but I saw it functioning. I wasn't trying to withdraw any funds. I saw it functioning, so I had just assumed that it was working. But I guess maybe not all features were fully up and running.
But I saw that and I was like, oh. Again, I didn't test it out. I had nothing to withdraw off of Coinbase, so I didn't care.
Yeah, correct. I wasn't trying to withdraw anything off of Coinbase.
I didn't have anything there. But yeah, but that they love messing with the
that
market,
always,
really causing a stir.
Mm-hmm. My bad. I said 502 error. It's a 503 service temporary unavailable.
We like tracking with the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers got to be very important, right? But yeah, every time that stops, anytime trading halts for any asset, typically it tends to tank the price. And Bitcoin, particularly right now, doesn't really have much support to keep it up, right, William?
Now we got support at the 60,000 level.
At the 60,000, we got support now.
We've been have support.
I see. Okay.
It's been bouncing off 60,000 some change since it rebroke and tested the last trend line. Yes.
I thought you had told me that there was like no support up until the 52,000.
Yeah, there wasn't. That's when we were
below 60,000.
Below 60.
I see. I didn't remember when it was.
Yeah, below 60 we don't got much. At 60 we got a little.
Okay.
Placements matter. If we're above 60, we got support. If we're below 60,
no support there. At least for now.
No.
Okay, and then you said it's
and
a bullish...
technically we would technically have some
flag.
I didn't say it was bullish flag. People are calling it bullish flag because it's making that downward thingy.
Mm-hmm.
We can just share the screen. And
I was going to say, now we can share the screen for facts. Show us
it worked last time.
No, we didn't try last time is what happened.
I meant the first time we did try, it didn't work.
Yeah, the first time, for some reason, it was telling us we were both, someone was sharing screen, but nobody was sharing screen.
You see, it's just kind of in this little channel.
Can you take out the
I didn't make my screen.
You didn't make your screen?
I didn't make my screen full size.
Oh.
So I can't see it as big as I want to. So let's...
So yeah, it does look like it's holding.
You know, I never learned how to hide things.
How to hide things?
Oh, yeah, you can hide stuff.
Because you don't want to delete it.
I don't want to delete it. But you see?
Mm-hmm.
Time frame matters. I'm on an 8-hour chart, so that's why it may look the way it looks. I can delete this though. So if you're coming off of there, it's just going there. Typically, this is a bullish flag because what typically happens, it follows in the channel and then it bounces up. However, in this situation, this was an original trend line. If you remove it to the new one, including the where it's at now with those multiple touches, it's still in that pattern, just moving downwards.
So then, why would that be bullish if it's just trending downward?
Because it can't bounce upwards. So it can't. Unless it goes like this, this is the only way it can go like that. It can't do a rocket straight up every time. This isn't the norm because it has to build. So it builds and then boom. Also, if you look at this one, it's somewhat slanted as well. It's not a straight line, right? It's a little bit downwards.
Yeah, you just have that one candle. It's the outlier.
It's downwards, and then at some point it breaks out of it. If you go a little lower, it's also slanted downwards. It's called a bullish flag for that reason. Respectfully. Also 8-hour chart, 8-hour time frame, so it's not 100% accurate.
Yeah, it's a little bit more volatile.
No, just showing 8-hour candles, but that's why. And there is support here now at the 60, right around here, short time frame, because we've been bouncing at this range, at this area, just do.
Yeah, it looks like support.
We're just waiting for interest to come to break it. If I move it, too far out. But if I move it back to where it was, the original trend that now was made, it broke and now it's retesting it, just downwards. So it hasn't found strength to break how you like it to
skyrocket, big green dildos.
Yeah, not to do that. No big green dildos yet.
Okay, I see.
But we are seeing on some good support. I'm not gonna say great support. Good enough to hold where we are. But yeah.
Okay, I see now. And then have you seen what's and I'm asking like genuinely because I haven't, but I've heard that ETF inflows are starting to stabilize even more in terms of outflows, specifically with
there's less outflows from GBTC. They're more just if they get either zero inflows or close to nothing going out, so they're pretty balanced as of right now.
Okay, so pretty balanced.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, we're just waiting on some interest to come in to really kick off the market and like
really kick it off,
take it to the next level.
So yeah, there's some support on Bitcoin pulling down. Also, weekly time frame, we're at the very bottom. It should cross at some point, and we should get that large green dildo you want to see.
Cool. As long as Coinbase doesn't crash down anymore, I think we should see that.
Also, typical bull market, Coinbase is crashing. It always crashed last bull market.
Yeah, that is typical.
And mind you, we're early for this one, right? We're early. Like the big rocket up hasn't happened, and that's when it really was crashing. So it's crashing early on. So Coinbase might be unusable once like it really pops off.
True that. So since we're talking about Coinbase, I was wondering if by any chance you heard what the chief legal officer of Coinbase is doing with the SEC.
No, I haven't heard what happened.
Yeah, so essentially he's
apologies for anyone who hears a dog barking. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Stop it, Luna. Homegirls is going at it.
She's going at it. She's protecting the
Jesus.
So essentially the
you want to pause so I can tell her to shut up?
Okay, don't get rid of the dog. But yeah,
I'm not gonna get rid of the dog. The dog will be here. Just
we'll take a quick pause. Okay, so we're back. So essentially, the chief legal officer for Coinbase is saying that the SEC has made fatal flaws with its current Wells notice issuing process.
Okay.
So the SEC had issued a Wells notice with a company. Do you hear me? Okay. So the SEC has issued a Wells notice with a company called Debtbox, and it admitted that it did not follow its typical Wells process.
Okay.
When the SEC refused to tell what assets and specifically they were charging with as securities.
So they didn't label any specific ones. That's the argument that's being made now.
That they're not labeling any specific asset as a
They're just saying you're just dealing with unregistered securities, not specifying which one's which.
Correct. So then this chief legal officer, it's CeeLo, I guess. His name is Gruel, Paul Gruel for Coinbase, saying that they have no thorough explanation or evidence that Coinbase is issuing any securities or acting as an unregistered exchange, broker, or clearing agency. Therefore, that the SEC is acting out of its scope and in an illegal manner.
Got you. I mean, we already know they were doing that, right? Like, that's nothing new to us.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just showing that there is an abuse of power, and at this point, this company is making that claim, like, definitively. It's saying the SEC is absolutely abusing their power, issuing Wells notice without following due process.
Of course. I'm trying to see.
So, yeah, I just want to mention that because it was just additional information in regards to Coinbase, as we were talking.
Well, I want to actually mention something. Mark Cuban brought up in Twitter the last couple of days. I just pulled it up. Screen share it, so you can see it. So check this. So he's responding to a tweet that this guy Vance made on just a tweet of Trump, essentially. And this is what it goes. If Joe Biden loses, there's a good chance you will be able to thank Gary Gensler and the New York SEC. The crypto is mainstream with younger and independent voters. Gensler has not protected a single investor against fraud. All he has done is make it nearly impossible for legitimate crypto companies to operate, killing who knows how many businesses and ruining who knows how many entrepreneurs. This is also a warning to Congress. Crypto voters will be heard this election. You could solve this problem for Biden by passing legislations that define registration. I was trying to read it some other way. I'm stupid. I apologize. That is specific to crypto industry, just as other industries have registrations that is defined for them. Or you could do a better option and assign all the crypto to be regulated by the CFTC. That actually knows what they're doing. So this tweet just goes on and on. This dog, like it's just a super long Twitter thread. I swear to God, this dog, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill the dog. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill the dog, guys.
Don't do it. Don't do that. It's a baby. She's just getting used to being in a new environment.
So he goes on a giant thread, but this is actually the part I wanted to share. But I just felt like the first part was very needed. Can this message go away now? There we go. There we go.
Stuck there. Okay, there you go.
So some guy said something. He just wrote, other than speculation, avoiding taxes, and engaging in crime activity, what is the utility of crypto? So there's probably a little more to that, but that doesn't matter. Mark responded, are you asking about cash or crypto? For crypto, lower cost of capital transfers, immediate collateralized loans, store of value, tokenized of assets, applications, and retention of royalties to digital assets like books, real-time, low-cost insurance markets, cold storage ownership of significant assets, protects against theft. Good enough to start? ? I'll let the others add more. If the SEC could follow Japan's lead, the fraud would be reduced significantly. And as a point of reference, the amount of fraud is built-in board stocks rivals that of today's crypto. The SEC will let you trade billions of shares of bankrupt companies that have announced that their shares will never have any value. This is institutional failure of the SEC, not a crypto issue. If the SEC had what's the word? Instituted, audited, collateral, audited.
Yeah, if the SEC has instituted audit, collateral, and segregation of funds requirements, we would not have seen FTX and it fails.
So I bring that up to say because he basically just ripped Densler, saying that he shouldn't be SEC chair. He's not doing the right job. Going back to that whole caution thing. Not really. Caution is irrelevant, but it's funny how everyone's just like really like fuck this guy. Unfortunately.
Yeah, so I would have to agree. Gary Gensler is absolutely making a stance in the fact that he is against crypto, with no specific evidence as to why he should be against crypto. He's associating himself with two large politicians, Elizabeth Warren and now the Biden administration, Joe Biden, where the Biden administration even posted a notice, a White House briefing, saying that if Congress were to pass this new bill that's coming out, it would get vetoed at the White House. Which one? Where the bill would allow, I don't know the specific bill number, what is it? Or like the name of it, but the bill would allow banks to hold and utilize crypto assets.
I remember that bill.
He's like, no, we will be vetoing this. So, I mean, I'm sorry. Biden kind of lost my vote with that one. Like, there's no reason for me to support someone who's not going to be supporting where innovation is standing. Gary Gensler obviously not helping, and Elizabeth Warren making a huge stance against it. These elites that have a lot to lose specifically are obviously making their stance and scrambling for any narrative they could like come up with to keep it as far away as possible. Yeah. I think about Jamie Dimon.
Well, I want to touch on him because I brought that too. But before we move on to that,
okay.
So apparently Elizabeth Warren has never had any competition from the right as senator in her state, whatever state it is. I don't know. I saw it yesterday. I don't remember the state, unfortunately. It is my fault. But the state requires that you have 10,000 signatures for the attorney general or from attorney generals, something of that nature, to present to be able to qualify to run in her state. Which, let me just do a quick Google to see what state she's a senator for. So for the state of Massachusetts, you need 10,000 signatures. This gentleman has gotten 11,000 signatures to run for senator for her state. So if she were to also lose, it would also put away this uncrypto friendly senator that we have. Well, one of the many to add. Yeah, I just wanted to add that too.
Yeah, she's been uncontested.
Yeah, she's been uncontested. So this is the first time, or the first election year, that she will have someone up against her, who is crypto forward, or not crypto forward. He's just someone different and could potentially be
He's not against
crypto forward.
He's not publicly against crypto.
Yeah, that better said. And the reason I brought up the Mark Cuban thing, because he pointed out, as we did last week, was if the SEC really did such a good job, they would have protected investors from Celcuis, from Three Arrows Capital, from FTX, from every actual fraud or anything, or actual fraud that did occur in crypto, or scams that did occur.
Yeah, it's like the tweet said, having audited collateral, like your balance books, your like making sure that what you're supposed to have is actually there,
which they didn't do. So I just felt like that was good to share on,
which it didn't do.
And if you want to move to Jamie Dimon thing, we can.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that the other day I had retweeted a post where it was a profile. It was a news article about how J.P. Morgan CEO says Bitcoin is a fraud and a Ponzi scheme. This was on Watcher.guru, posted April 18th, 2024, and then in pretty much a month later, on May 10th. Another article come out saying JP Morgan Chase discloses spot Bitcoin ETF portfolio. So Jamie Dimon is being a hypocrite or a scam artist. If he's claiming publicly that Bitcoin is a scam / Ponzi scheme, why is he allowing his company to do it, to buy it,
to hold it,
to own it? Exactly. So either he's getting in on the scheme, falling for the scheme, or realizing that it's actually a good asset, and he's just trying to show face, saying that it's a bad asset to invest in, so that he could keep it at bay for as long as possible.
I don't know if I would. I would say keep it at bay. I would say it's more so the banks don't lose control and of holding funds. I would say that more than at bay. But it's more so watch what they do, not what they say.
Yep, that's actually a really good saying.
Like he's been going to Davos and all these other places saying, "Oh no, crypto's a scam. Bitcoin's a bigger scam. I will never own it. I will never have it," which he may not himself have it. But the thing is, I feel like since J.P. Morgan is a publicly traded company, if I'm not mistaken, it is. It is. I don't know. It is a publicly traded company. Since they have a board of directors and everything else, they by law have to do what's right for customers. If what's right for customers is for J.P. Morgan, the company, to hold some spot Bitcoin ETF, then they have to hold some, whether they want to or not. Or they also can just be like, no, we're not going to own the asset. We're not, hard line. We're not owning crypto. This isn't what we do. Which clearly he didn't take that stance. Which if he would have, it would have been more like, okay, more power to you.
I would have given him more respect. He would earn some respect if that was the case. I mean, he would lose out on money, but he would earn respect.
One or the other. You can't have both sometimes at the same time.
No. He specifically can have both because of the position that he put himself in.
Or he would have to publicly be like, no, I changed my mind, this, that, and third.
Exactly.
I made a mistake. I fumbled.
Exactly. And at that point, and that's okay. People make mistakes. But like going back to the watch what they do, not what they say. Mm-hmm. It's like Warren Buffett saying that he's against crypto or against Bitcoin. He claimed I saw this tweet. I don't know if I didn't see him specifically say it, but quote, Bitcoin is rat poison.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say that? That was just
Bitcoin's rat poison.
Oh, Charlie Munger? Okay. I thought the thing said that was
it
Warren
could have
Buffett.
Been Warren, but I think it was Charlie because Charlie had a much more anti-crypto view.
Yeah. But so the meme essentially was just a picture of Bitcoin like and a rat like kind of like on top of it, like, and then the banks were all the, I mean, Bitcoin was the rat poison and then the banks were all the rats.
I mean,
but no, going back to the phrase, although he was against Bitcoin, he had invested into a company that owns Bitcoin. I don't know about the mining company, but I do know that he owned a company that had Bitcoin on its balance sheet. So, although he was against Bitcoin, he was still invested in it to some degree.
I just think we're going to reach a point where it's going to be inevitable that one of his companies that he owns a large percentage of will hold Bitcoin, whether he wants to or not. I saw another.
That's definitely an eventuality that will happen to
right?
most companies.
So this came out yesterday, right? From Watcher.guru. Justin, Swiss bank UBS, the largest bank in Switzerland, discloses it holds shares in BlackRock spot ETF. This is a Swiss bank holding shares. That shift of everyone owning some Bitcoin is gonna happen at one point or another. Apart, like, even forget every other asset, but just specifically Bitcoin. At one point or another, they're just slowly buy something, and we're gonna reach the point of we got no more.
It's the age of hyper Bitcoinization. We're on the cusp of it. It's around the corner.
20%.
The question is, will it happen this cycle or will it happen next
I think
cycle?
it doesn't matter.
So we don't know. No, I mean, it definitely doesn't matter. I particularly don't have any rush to see it because when it does happen, I feel like I'd be okay. And for the most part, I'd rather give it as much time as possible so that individuals can get on board before they get priced out by the large institutions completely.
Because all these legs up we've seen in Bitcoin have all been institutional money. This is the first rally that starts with institutions. That's why we saw it, like that 73,000 break so fast. It's because ETF inflows, they were buying early. We haven't seen the real massive retail come in just yet. And to be fair, that really sucks for retail because they're buying a lot higher than what they would have at last bull run. Last bull run at this time, we would have been probably closer to 40s, 250, to the 40s, to the 30,000s, and we're very far from that at this point. And very low likelihood of it going to the 40s and 30s and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're definitely buying a premium.
Yeah. On that topic that you mentioned of Bitcoin, I'm sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
No. Continue.
So on that topic, you said Bitcoin. What was it?
Hyper Bitcoinization.
With that, we're gonna see companies slowly start accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. So a private jet charter service, Candy Jets, now accepts Bitcoin, Lightning payments. Yeah. So a jet company, they're gonna be, if you charter a jet, depending where you're going, it's a $30,000, $20,000, $50,000 very easily. It's a full Bitcoin if you're paying all of it in Bitcoin. Respectfully, it's a full Bitcoin.
It's a big jet though. It's pretty expensive.
Not really. That's what they cost depending on how far you're going.
I think private jets, depending on the size, is typically what it is. Like a small jet will probably run somewhere between like $4,500 an hour.
That's a very small jet though. That's a 5-seater jet, maybe 4.
Yeah, so like if you start like raising the jet, like the size of the jet to like, let's say 12.
Fair.
Yeah, then it starts to climb up and it'll climb up pretty fast too.
Fair.
So
fair.
Pretty big jet is let's say so that's awesome for them. But yeah, we're not. I mean, just when I was younger, I would browse. I think I actually have a website saved somewhere in my files up here for purchasing private islands.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I can't say the joke I was in the
usually like people go on
because it would get flagged.
Okay. Good, don't say it then. But that's all. Honestly, you're right. As hyper Bitcoinization starts to kicking off, more and more companies would also be wanting to accept Bitcoin as payment.
Accept it, hold it, one or the other, but they're gonna start. And
it starts with I don't even know what it starts with. It just starts. It's
already started.
More adoption, but it's already started. You're right.
It's one thing at a time. Like no matter what they want to do, the genie's out the bottle. Similar to that other topic we're going to touch on before we move on. But to wrap this crypto topic, and we can move on to your next one. So Ethereum spot ETF is not dead yet. It's not dead yet,
baby.
There's still hope for that Ether squad to get it out there. So there was a report that came out saying that ETH has like a 15% chance to get approved in May.
In May. Oh,
Yeah, because this is one of their last approval before they have to final deadline deny one. So the reason I say there's hope because there has started to go to have some back and forth with some of these shareholders. So one of the main ones that I saw was ARK Invest and 21 Shares remove staking from their proposed ETF.
yeah, I saw that too. That's a huge, important like negotiation factor for the SEC because they just don't like how you could earn ETH by staking ETH. They don't like that.
Well, I didn't like how they're going to use the staked ETH to just make more money on their end and not like for the consumers who are actually owning it. Like that's my issue with it, but we'll go from there. That's a different problem.
Yeah, I could understand your gripe with it, but the SEC is just a completely different thing.
But that's something that they took out, which does give them a better chance of getting approval. Which I think theirs comes out at towards the end of May, final decision, if I'm not mistaken.
I actually think that might be one of the positions that the SEC might have done that might actually benefit the Ethereum blockchain a little bit.
Not allowing to stake it?
Not allowing them to stake it. Correct.
Bing, 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 bing. Camera got out of frame.
Seeing how these institutions have the availability and the ease of getting so much funds into them, they could really stake a lot of ETH. Just like kind of making them one of the bigger validators
it would have been a
on the blockchain.
I mean, if also so my thing with the ETH,
they weren't going to be staking all of it. They weren't going to be staking all the ETH that they did get. It was only going to be a portion of the ETH. No, but still, a lot of ETH is going to be.
So my thing is how high is the demand for an ETH ETF compared to the Bitcoin one? I would think it can't even be like close.
You don't think so? I hope.
I don't.
The thing is, it's probably just as equivalent to what the price difference is. Mostly because like people know of Bitcoin, Ethereum. In terms of like general population, it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and Shiba.
Oh yeah.
And then you get occasional people, general population, who kind of know about like Solana, and then maybe some other random top tens.
I think, just a small hot take, I think Sol, not flip ETH in terms of market cap just yet. That's really far away, in my opinion. Like I'm not gonna even touch that. But more so, I think Sol will become the more known chain at one point and flip Ethereum in that. Maybe not price, but it'll flip its recognition. Just because retail can access it easier because it's so much cheaper.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like ETH would be more so for like corporate use, and Solana would be used more for retail use.
Hot take? I think there would be a higher. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, which is kind of why I think that the demand for a ETH ETF wouldn't necessarily be like close to the ground as compared to the Bitcoin ETFs.
Yeah. I also think part of the reason why I also think that's because the person you're trying to sell on is depending on like their access. So if we're saying Bitcoin is a digital gold, right? Then the person who would buy gold or be buying gold will, in my opinion, most likely be someone of an older generation who lacks that knowledge to get on chain to buy Bitcoin to then self custody it. Versus that who goes, oh, ETH is this. ETH is a transacting portal. It's much easier. Like, okay, someone younger there goes, oh, I can use ETH because the threshold's shorter. And then Sol is just like degenerates. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like...
I think ETH is typically marketed as programmable money. Not digital gold, but more so like programmable, like money with conditions. or with contracts associated.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens there if it gets approved or not.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you want to hit that
so what was that other story?
You have it. I saw a video about it.
Which one?
I feel like we've covered all your stories out of mine. You only have one left. I don't think we.
No, I got three left. We don't have to cover them, but actually one of them you don't want to talk about because usually like you weren't interested. It was I'll quickly mention it. It's called It's just quick. Durian, a hack implemented by North Korea on South Korean crypto exchanges, specifically two crypto exchanges. Something small got caught by Kaspersky. Happened last year. They're just announcing it now. But yeah, which of the other two stories were you talking about?
So I was gonna ask, did we mention Roaring Kiity?
No, we did not mention Roaring Kiity. Yeah, that was huge news.
We gotta mention Roaring Kiity.
Yeah,
we gotta talk about it.
Yeah, Keith Gillis, the GOAT, has returned after a 3-year-long hiatus from Twitter. And the markets went crazy.
Sure, the markets went crazy is an understatement. Tell me how.
This one tweet.
Yeah, go for it.
This one tweet alone brought so much value to the market. It's literally insane.
Backtrack. So I didn't know who Roaring Kiity Keith was before
Gillis.
Keith Gillis was before like 3 days ago. I didn't know he was the man, the myth, the legend who created the GME AMC short squeeze on hedge funds. So for the audience members, if you didn't know that either, now you know that's the man who made hedge funds lose billions of dollars.
Yeah, so
for funsies. Yeah,
so he was what he was doing was he was posting his due diligence, his DD, on the Reddit subreddits, Wall Street Bets, and he just decided to hop on like live stream on his YouTube and throw the link on Reddit, and people started checking him out, and that's where the whole like frenzy started. My bad, I said Gillis, it's Gills, Keith Gills. I've been butchering names left and right this morning. Ask William. Off air, I said, what was it? Crypto Kitty. I was like, no.
Wrong kitty.
Yeah, that's not it. Yeah. But you didn't know he was the one who was behind the GameStop thing?
I found out, I saw it, and then I went, looked up, and I was like, oh snap, this was the man, the myth, the legend.
That was the man, the myth, the legend.
You told me about it. I just feel like prefacing that. And now we could go to the GameStop price real quick. So, just to give caveats here. I'm going to share the screen one last time. I've been sharing screen today like a wild boy. One last share. So, just so you can see the chart. You see it? This was here. What do you?
No, I don't see it. I don't see it actually. Oh wait! No! Don't do anything. Don't do anything. It was popping up. I see it.
So price was here. Price is at $18. It's been slowly climbing. Look at this. How did we go from here? Just to give a point of reference, we were here. It went from here all the way to here.
270%, 60%.
For those who can't see, you should be seeing it, we're just not talking about. But for those listening, I'm showing a chart of GameStop stock and how it went from $17.77, meaning $17.70 to $65 this morning. It went up 200, and as Alex said, 63%. In no time, in 0 times at all. Like in less than like 2 days. 2 days.
It was like 2 days, 1 day.
That's wild. And currently it's coming back down to 49. To add,
I think the most interesting thing to note is those spaces in between the candles.
Those spaces are called gaps, pretty much. That means from the time the price closed to the time it opened, there was so much demand and buying pressure that whatever the space is in between doesn't get filled. It's buying at the newest highest price, which causes that gap. So every time you see those gaps, is because price closed at 1777, but the new demand wasn't anywhere, was at $25. It wasn't anywhere near 1777.
That doesn't happen too often.
It does. For a couple stocks, it does. Not many. It's not the norm for most stocks. For any like big like tech companies, it does happen. It happens to Nvidia quite a few times throughout its history. It's happened. Meta, Amazon, Tesla, they get a good amount. Also to add, this gap can be caused up or down. Doesn't matter. So what typically happens when these gaps are opened, they typically close at some point or another, for the most part. So if you were to assume this gap would get filled, assume at least it touches the wick. We still got another 24% to go. If you want to go to this gap, which is harder to close because it's gapped twice, it would have to go even further down. And you talked about AMC because he also did that one. And AMC also did some Wild Boys stuff here. Look at this one.
Wow.
So Kurt.
Oh, wow. It's up like crazy today.
AMC stock. We're on the daily. So this is 1 day, 2 days. So we started at $3. It went up yesterday to $5.92, almost 100%. Today it opened. I
saw that one. That's crazy.
AMC opened at 285%, and it's slowly going down at 204%, $9. Mind you, these are stocks that don't move. Don't move. This doesn't move. And this line that I'm showing you here is from November 2023 that caused this gap downwards, which is closing as of right now. Will close because it closes from here to here. So we'll see what happens. I just feel like sharing that. Quite interesting stuff here on those charts.
Yeah, like I said, that one tweet alone, it was like someone zoning in.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything. He hasn't said bye. He's just been showing like memes and stuff and pictures. Oh, to mention it,
I actually don't know if he's posted anything else. I think it was just that one tweet.
Only pictures and memes on Twitter. As you look for more stuff, Andrew Tate talked about him the other, like when he tweeted, and literally said, "I just sold some Bitcoin. I bought all of it in AMC." He goes, "I'm just giving the F you, the fuck you to all of Wall Street. Hedge funds, go bleed for a little bit." Then he goes, "I'm gonna put another $500,000 in AMC and GameStop." He goes, "If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But we'll have fun while we're here."
Yeah, $500,000. He sold $500,000 from his Bitcoin holdings. I'm not gonna blame him. That's not a bad move. Seeing how they've outperformed, that wasn't Bitcoin? A bad move at all.
I mean,
yeah,
dude.
Oh man,
absurd. It's crazy.
If only I thought of that. Yeah. He's only been posting like memes, little videos. Yeah, up, big time up.
So I haven't looked at AMC, but I know GME has been halted trading multiple times already. And today, when I went to go buy, it says, "Watch out! This is a very volatile asset." Blah 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 blah.
It's only about. Oh, I think I forgot before we forget to mention this. On Monday, after this tweet, the New York Stock Exchange has paused GameStop's trading, a buy button, 8 times before noon.
Jesus.
Which is one of the biggest issues that a lot of people have with the stock market. Is just because people are buying, they literally stop you from buying it. They still let you to sell it, but they don't let you buy it anymore.
Yeah. They're going to say it's to protect investors.
Call it surge protection.
Yeah. Exactly that.
Everybody knows what they're doing. Like, everybody knows what they're doing. They're buying a stock because they like it.
Yeah.
You saw a tweet and they like the stock.
They're like, time to play. But dude, it's crazy, and everyone's saying like, what's he gonna really pump next? Because he hasn't spoken about these two stocks.
That's the question. Is he actually? He hasn't said
so
anything.
Everyone's speculating like what can be what causes like the next, like stock.
Next stock he talks about will definitely pump or dump
and go crazy. One of the two.
Maybe he decides to actually short some stocks.
Maybe. Alrighty, what you got for us?
So I was thinking, if he had told anybody that he was gonna send out his first tweet, and they're like, "Yo, we just buy some GameStop," and he's like, "I'm a tweet," before he actually tweets, they could have capitalized so much.
Dude.
Okay, whatever.
Crazy.
Moving on. Final topic for me. OpenAI has announced a new update to ChatGPT yesterday. People were expecting it to be ChatGPT 5, but Sam Altman tweeted, "It's like it's not going to be ChatGPT 5. It's not going to be a search engine." And what they ended up announcing was this thing called ChatGPT 4o, where O apparently stands for Omni Model, meaning that it takes various models and puts them together, allowing for ChatGPT 4 to be A, quicker, B, implement videos and pictures, so visual, and then C, also produces voice, which I think is crazy stuff. So you can send it a
Not
picture.
Not just voice, to add, it produces conversation. To a degree.
Yeah, like an actual chatbot. Like chat. Like actual conversation.
Let's be clear, yeah.
And the videos that they shown of it in work was actually pretty cool. So one of them was like, "Oh, I need you to tell Tim a bedtime story about a robot falling in love." Cool. So it starts telling the story. It's like, okay, now tell a story in a robot voice. So it starts talking like as if it was a robot. And then they're like, "Oh, close it out with a big like musical outro." And they started singing. So it was cool stuff. Very exciting stuff for ChatGPT.
Well, the video I saw about it, which we talked about it off air, was that they had two ChatGPT 4o models communicate with each other.
Yeah, that does seem like a whole.
So essentially, they had one iPhone just listening to the conversation, and they had the other iPhone implementing visual back and forth, like visual as well. So when he started it, all he said was, "So you guys are gonna do X, Y, Z, and communicate with each other, and let the other one know what you see." Then he goes, "You can start now." And the one on the audio one went, "Oh, so hey, how are you doing? Can you tell me what you see?" And he goes, "Oh, we're in a room. It's a little dim. There's some lighting. It looks more industrial. There's a man that's holding us wearing whatever he was wearing. It was like a gray t-shirt, whatever." And then the one on the bottom goes, "Oh, that's cool. Can you tell me more about the lighting? Can you tell me more details about the man who's holding us? XYZ." And then at that point, the dude who was holding it looked more like he was focused on something. He was typing or whatever. And then the one that was visualizing reiterated what the dude was doing and gave more details about the lighting. And then as the chatbot was communicating with each other, there was one lady who came out from the back, gave bunny ears behind and was there for probably 5 seconds. Then she walked away. Once he finished the conversation, the listening chatbot responded to him, and then she goes, "Oh, just to add, there was someone who walked up, gave bunny ears in a very playful manner. There was no," and then it ended there, essentially.
Oh wow! So it has memory of like what happened.
Yeah, it had memory of that of like the lady there for whatever time frame it was. It wasn't very long. It was a conversation. It was like if me and you were to stop talking here and I reiterate something that we just happened, kind of.
It was probably something for like a 2-3 minute long video.
It was a 5-minute video.
Okay, cool. That's actually very cool.
Which also, to add to this, it doesn't mean it doesn't hold that memory for longer. There's nothing saying that video isn't recorded or saved in its like internal scripts saying that it saw a man and this lady do bunny ears. It doesn't, which it wouldn't make sense for it to delete that info, because then it could just in the future be like, oh, I've seen people do bunny ears these many ways. So that too.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff, William. Crazy stuff.
Which I think Sam Altman said it. I don't know if we've talked about it. He said this will not, but this was when the only ChatGPT 4 was out, like a couple weeks ago. He goes, this will be the worst AI model we ever have again. The worst.
The worst?
ChatGPT 4 is the worst model. Because after ChatGPT 5, that will now be the worst model. It's 5. Then you go to 6, that will be the worst. You won't be using the older version because it'll just get better as the versions progress.
True that.
Kind of that whole thing of we currently live in the best times to be alive, because 100 years ago you didn't even have hot water in your house, but now you do.
It's true.
So it's like that whole thing. Cool stuff.
Exciting times, William. Exciting times.
News to be to look out for. Apple announcement coming up. AI will be a big thing. AI tokens are doing really well because of that. And NVIDIA earnings are also coming up, which they typically meet expectations or surpass. Either of those happen, we should see a nice little pump in those tokens as well.
Cool. Very exciting.
But a lot of fun stuff.
Keep an eye out.
He says I'll keep an eye out, doesn't buy a single altcoin.
I'm a busy man. I forget to do things.
He's fake busy. Nonetheless,
thank you guys for joining us.
Like, subscribe, follow.
Please leave a like, comment, subscribe.
Subscribe, guys. We like seeing subscribers go up.
All that.
You're all appreciated.
Yep.
It's been another one.
We're almost at 100. Let's get us there. Come on, guys.
We'll see what we do for 100. We might get a little too lit for the 100th episode. Virtually lit.
We're getting there. Thank you guys for coming. It's been another week of your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes crypto.
The Unscripted.
Crypto podcast. Hey, yo.
Thank you.